Who is Bobbi Althoff? This has been one of the most searched questions on the internet in the last month, with the rather unexplainable spawn of the now infamous podcaster. Bobbi Althoff, who is almost unknown, now stands on one of the paths of becoming one of the biggest celebs considering the cadre of celebs she has recently been mingling with. How did she come about? Where did this fame erupt from? Who is her sponsor? And all those lingering questions still float in the air. Anyway, up to this moment, here are 10 things you didn't know about Bobbi Althoff that, well, we know it the rich and famous. Before we go on, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos to become part of this channel. With that being said, let's get right into it. Bobbi Althoff was born on the 31st of July, 1997 in LA, California. The primary identities of her parents are unknown, but in an article published by the Cosmopolitan magazine, Bobbi revealed that her father had connections with popular rapper Snoop Dogg, but still wasn't financially stable, hence resulting in her rough upbringing in terms of money.
He did something for Snoop Dogg. Do you know him?
Yeah, I do.
Are you friends with him?
He's my uncle.
Really?
Yeah.
I could not be further from someone with connections and with money. People are like, her dad had connections with Snoop Dogg. My dad was a handyman. I was so embarrassed of how broke my family was growing up. In high school, everyone had nice cars, and my family was always getting repossessed. She attended Santiago High School and said she was schoolmates with the famous Tyler Hoechlin. She has a younger sister who lives with her and sometimes appears in her comedic videos. Bobbi is about 5 feet 5 inches tall and comes from a yet unidentified mixed ethnic group. She is a solid follower of the Christian religion. Prior to her famous podcast, which we will soon speak of, Bobbi was known for her career as a social media content creator and a TikTok comedian. Career? Bobbi is a social media personality, with her popularity in the game erupting from TikTok. She began posting videos on the platform in February of 2021, while she was pregnant for her second daughter, and she began to see massive growth in her channel just about 5 months after. Bobbi usually features her husband and daughters in her videos, while she posts various categories of videos aimed at making her viewers laugh. From silly dance videos to struggling with the heat in Disneyland, her major video niche is about her trials and joys as a mom. To keep her viewers entertained, she also makes fashion try videos, makeup routine clips, and other funny and relatable stuff. The Really Good Podcast. Being the major reason most of you are on this clip, Bobbi's podcast is what has made her this sought for on the internet. The Really Good Podcast is the brainchild of Bobbi Althoff and made its debut in April of 2023. She claimed that she derived the inspiration as a parody of How I Built This with Guy Raz. Regardless of the very famous people she has had on the show, its peculiarity lies in the technique she uses while having these interviews. Bobbi usually maintains a stoic and quiet tone, talking in the most calm way as possible. With the employment of dry humor, a deadpan style of interviewing, and her very awkward settings, her podcasts seem to be satirically annoying, but at the same time very captivating to her viewers. Why on earth would you interview Drake while in bed? Just like Nathan Fielder's Nathan for You, she asks her guests very abnormal and uncomfortable questions. But well, that's literally what makes the show worth watching. While interviewing Tammin Sursok, who played Jenna on Pretty Little Liars, Bobbi asked, "So, you were on a show called Pretty Little Liars? Was the lie that you're pretty?" Damn. Celebrities who have been on the Really Good Podcast. Besides Tammin Sursok, Bobbi Althoff has had really big names on her show. Her first guest was the star actor of Not Dead Yet, Rick Glassman, and after that came her interview with YouTuber Funny Marco. Other stars she has interviewed include Mark Cuban, Offset, Tyga, and the most famous, Drizzy Drake. Althoff's session with Drake was the biggest boost to her podcast career, as it had over 55 million views across her major social media platforms. During an interview, Althoff was asked on her dream guests at her podcast. She particularly mentioned Post Malone, as she described the American artist to be so normal, and Teen Wolf actor Tyler Hoechlin, who was also her schoolmate. Yeah, we got that already. The fact that Bobbi Althoff has been able to gain personal access to has become the root of the next point on our list. Most times when random entertainers spawn out of the blue while claiming personal glory, the public always have this move attributed to the absurd act of industry planting. For those who aren't aware, Industry plant is a situation whereby a sponsored personality credits his or herself for his sudden success, while there is a secret force or agency behind the scenes during all the publicity works. Many big-time celebs have been accused of this stunt, including Jennifer Lopez, who is believed to ignore giving credits to several of her ghost singers. Well, the question here is Bobbi an industry plant? No. Before the advent of her podcast, Althoff was already famous on TikTok, with about 3 million followers. At the same time, considering how she got her initial guests, it is enough evidence she just happened to fall on the right side of luck. However, after her interview with Drake went viral, she got reached out to by WME, the industry under which stars like Ben Affleck and Adam Sandler operate. It seems things just started getting good for the podcaster. As far as Bobbi has come, it wasn't a smooth process getting guests for the Really Good podcast. During her interview with Cosmopolitan magazine, she explained that to get her first 2 guests on her podcasts, she had to throw in a little bit of cash in the ring. After she posted a video under which she offered $300 to any person who could link her up with celebrities for her podcast, one of her viewers tagged Rick Glassman, the premier guest on the show, in the comment sections, and lucky for that fellow, he replied, winning her an easy $300. Days after, Bobbi got a random comment asking if she knew Funny Marco, a YouTuber who is also known for his dry interview style. She took it to Instagram, tagged Marco, and almost immediately she got a reply from the YouTuber. She had to send the promised $300 to the second link. You see, people, it's a give-and-take world. So before we go on, take a second to subscribe to our channel, and on the other end, we'll keep giving you top-notch videos. Her family. Going back to her personal life, Bobbi Althoff is a 26-year-old married mother of 2. She is usually at the end of serious stick for this, as some of her viewers see her choice of getting married early as insensible. She is married to Bobbi Althoff, a 1989-born software engineer from LA. Corey is the vice president in software development program at CompTIA. He is also an author, as he is the famous writer of The Self-Taught Programmer and The Self-Taught Computer Scientist. We don't really know much more about Corey, but we are really sure he teaches himself most of the shit he knows. The couple tied the knot in 2019, and at that time, Bobbi was just 22 years old. Bobbi and Corey have 2 daughters, who aren't shy of Bobbi's famous social media pages. Their real names aren't known, but for the cause of her videos, her elder daughter is known as Richard, while the younger daughter is oddly called Concrete. She missed Concrete's first birthday to interview Drake. Even though her videos have family and motherhood as their primary niches, Bobbi isn't the most ideal mother, as she missed baby Concrete's first birthday to meet up for her interview with Drake. Her link-up with Champagne Papi was her most lucky one yet. Drake liked a post of hers, and Althoff decided to message him with an invite to her podcast. And out of 1,000,001 chances, he agreed. So, it was a really big move for her. So big it was worth not turning up for her daughter's birthday. And Drake didn't miss throwing shade at her for this. You missed your first daughter's birthday for this. Dark, dark. A regret you'll never be able to do. Horrible parenting, said Drake during his session with Bobbi. When Bobbi asked about Drake's son, Adonis, he claimed that he was somewhere safe, and it's not his birthday. Bobbi Althoff's success came from TikTok, and she is still very big on the platform. She has 5.7 million followers and 184 million likes. Her Instagram is also very active, with a lot of hint clips on her podcast release and other beautiful JPEGs she blesses her followers with. She has 1.7 million followers on Instagram. And on her YouTube channel, The Bobbi Althoff, the social media sensation has 641,000 followers and 28 million views after just joining late 2021. Net worth. Let's be honest, Althoff might not have been as big as she is right now, but she has been in the game for about 2 years, amassing as much wealth as possible. According to several sources, she has a net worth of about $400,000 to $500,000.